The Namib Desert is a desert biome that lies in a high inland plateau. There is a few to no bodies of water on the desert surface. We chose this ecosystem because it is one of the oldest and largest deserts in the world. This ecosystem is very unique because it homes to a number of plant and animal species. This is an important ecosystem because it homes to many species that can be found nowhere else in the world.
The Namib Desert is along the coast of southern Africa. It stretches over 1,200 miles along the Atlantic and Indian Ocean. It goes through the countries Angola and Namibia. The food web is made up of all living things, from the most powerful organisms to tiny organisms. The food web starts off with the producers. Mostly trees, herbs, grass, and bushes make up the landscape. After the producers comes the primary consumers. Golden moles, vipers, and all sorts of ants are primary consumers. The secondary consumers overpower the primary consumers. Secondary consumers consist of jackals and horned lizards, but third-level consumers overpower everything else in the desert. Third-level consumers are desert hawks and lions.
In the Namib Desert energy pyramid, the energy is transferred from the autotrophs, which are the primary producers, then up the pyramid through the heterotrophs and consumers. Each way up the pyramid, less energy is transferred to each
Namib Desert receives less than a half an inch of rain yearly. Western Namib receives less rain than the Eastern Namib. This happens when it's windy coming from the Indian Ocean and goes over mountains, losing its humidity. But wind coming from the Atlantic Ocean is pressed down by hot air, and the humidity forms clouds and fog. Morning fog creates a main source of water for plants and animals. Most rivers are either dried up or underground. Most plants and animals evolved to live on little water. Some beetles create webs to capture water in them. Other animals like jackals lick stones to get any humidity off of it. The water cycle is disrupted by humans by using off-road vehicles, which kills plants. By doing this, the plants have to regenerate by water. Water is very scarce, which affects the water cycle by having to catch up, plus has to keep the good plants alive. Humans influence the Namib Desert in very many ways. One reason is irrigation used for agriculture, resulting in high salt levels in soil, therefore killing plants. Also, grazing animals owned by people are eating the limited resources that other animals rely on. Another one is mining uses potassium cyanide, and this also kills many organisms and plants. Off-road vehicles kill plants that animals rely on. Nuclear waste dumped in desert biomes ends up killing organisms as well. A prediction for the future is to find new ways to rotate crops in order to prevent damaging soil. Another one is restricting off-road vehicles to go only on designated roads, and also dig grooves in soil to catch seeds and water to increase plant life for organisms to live on.
The limiting factors of the Namib Desert are both density dependent and density independent. A limiting factor is an environmental factor that leads to limit population size. One density dependent limiting factor is disease. The more crowded a population is, the easier it is for the sickness to spread and infect many individuals. This happens specifically in the cactus wren population. Because they are densely populated, so disease spreads quickly, killing off and keeping the population stable. One density independent limiting factor is the weather. If there happens to be a sandstorm, all of the organisms will be affected, no matter the size or density. One way that humans could protect the ecosystem of the Namib Desert is by using off-road vehicles only on designated pathways and trails to avoid further destruction of delicate plant life. This will slow down the desertification, which is already covering a quarter of the Earth's surface across continents.